So this week we're putting the base onto our porch project. I'm really excited to see how this is all coming together. So stay tuned and see how we do this. Alright, so our first step this week is going to be to glue together our two layers for our base. And what I have is a sheet of foam core and a sheet of, I believe it's MDF. It was a piece of 1/4 inch wood that was in my stash, and I just decided to use it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do part of this off camera, but I'll get it started. It's got a big chunky cat hair. My cat decided to lay on my board. I don't know how that was comfortable, but whatever. So I am going to spread some glue on here. I'm going to probably turn the camera off because you don't need to watch me spread glue. I'm going to spread this out so it's got a good amount. We want some air spaces in there. I might be able to get it all on here. We're using 2 layers because I want the firmness of the board, but I also want to be able to stick things into my landscaping. Now, first step is going to be, and the edges don't need to be cut perfectly. The edges can be a little on the rough side. And I'm going to kind of squish it around, and then line up the edges as best I can. I will trim this a little more evenly later. We are going to cover the edge. We're going to edge this in some pieces of wood. So I'm going to find some weights to set on this, and I'm going to let this dry today for several hours so that this glue is set and dry before we glue our front porch to our base. So when the glue is dry, I'll be back. Alright, so this is the glue binding these two together is pretty well dried. I've had weights on it for several hours. It's nice and flat. So it's time to glue our porch structure onto the base. And if I didn't mention earlier, I don't remember if I did, but this board, both these pieces of board are cut 11 by 15 inches, and the size will be in the blog post. So before we glue anything, and like I think I said earlier, don't worry about these not being perfectly straight. That's all going to get covered later. We actually will not see we won't see the foam core as it looks now later. So I am going to draw a line. I see this edge is kind of crooked, but that's okay. I'm going to draw a line that's a 1/2 inch in. Oops. Really difficult to do at the angle I'm doing this at, because I wanted you guys to be able to see what I was doing, but hopefully this pencil line is going to show up. Alright. This placement line, like everything else, this is not going to show later. So, this will give me an idea of where to glue my structure. Now, hopefully you can see, yeah, that's kind of going to block your view. But I'm going to line this up, and I'll probably do this off camera because the video is really not going to be able to show what I'm doing. And I'm not going to be able to see what I need to see if I've got the camera going, because I need to be able to turn this around. But I'm going to line this up as best as I can with that line I just drew. I'm going to apply glue to the bottom of this, and I'm going to glue it right here. I'm going to set some like containers on top of this. I had pictures of that last week on the blog when I glued it onto here. I'm going to weight this down, and I'm going to let the glue dry overnight, and then I'll be back to show you what it looks like once it's securely put together. All right, not sure how to angle this so you guys can see much on the video. I will have some photos on the blog. I took some as I glued this on. I even took some of it weighted down so I can show you what I did there. But our base is now on. I think next week we'll work on the porch railing. I think because I want to add a railing to this and some upright posts. Make those steps make more sense, but I love how this is working out. Be sure and check the blog post. I'll tell you the kind of funny way I came up with the size for this, but I think that's about all we're going to do this week, since I'm still working on just my crappy laptop. If you haven't read the blog post about my computer woes, it's on my blog. And my laptop is not real reliable, so I don't want to push it and do too long of a video right now. So that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. Be sure and check the blog post for pictures and more information. Be sure and keep track of me on Facebook if you don't already, because I do keep Facebook updated more to the minute as to what's going on. And if you'd like to help support the channel, you can check out my Patreon page. The links for everything are in the description, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.